It's been very exciting to be a part of planning today and previous stadium events and much smaller events through the Global Day of Prayer London. I think the aspiration of today was to bring together as diverse a mix of leaders from London and other parts of the country as possible in order to find a spirit unity, not a conformity, but a spirit unity amongst people leading very different types of churches, very different personalities, and yet recognizing that we all have one thing in common, an aspiration to see our nation transformed through the power of prayer and through the mission of God, through the churches. I think we are at a time in our nation when there is a growing sense amongst many people that materialism, things that we buy and things which are material, no longer satisfy. And more, I think people are searching for some kind of spiritual experience beyond the human, material, physical. They're not mostly turning to churches because we often, I think, have lost the plot when it comes to connecting with our nation at this time. And I think the call today is to try to encourage churches to work together so that the strength of each denomination and each style of church can be enhanced. So we really can provide the message of the spiritual transformation of our nation. And of course that spiritual transformation, we know, comes only through the saving love of Jesus Christ. And yet we have not connected well enough with our population over many, many decades. Why I think this time is so important is because all the eyes of the world will be upon London and the UK this time next year with the Olympic Games and the Paralympic Games. We're going to be very much in the spotlight, and there is a greater opportunity than ever for the churches to join hands, put aside some of the differences that have tripped us up for so many centuries and decades, and actually to provide a real common combined witness to our nation. I think also the experience of last month in our cities across the country have shown us that communities are very fragile, and it doesn't take much for rioting and for violence and criminality to get out of hand. That's another reason why we can't afford any longer to remain in the comfort zone of our particular churches or streams or denominations. We need to harness the very best of each denomination and church so that we can together create a credible and powerful response to our fragile communities and also to the watching world come the Olympics. When it comes to mission, particularly in London, with the possibility of a mission to London in 2013, that's another reason why we need to gear up our unity and our respect for one another so that the historic denominations, with all their strength, can be enhanced by the newer streams, the black majority churches, the Asian churches, churches from South America and beyond, so that we can all put our best foot forward for the Lord Jesus Christ and make a common witness and mission to London and to the country.